You were still explaining to us how even in your own organization, you're finding that women, for whatever reason, are holding back and are using their own autonomy to back other men, even if those men aren't as deserving.
They aren't as deserving, whether you look at their qualification, the experience, the character, even the leadership posture of these women. You can see they've got potential, they can actually do it. But they are so afraid to launch into the deep, to do something that they have not tried before. And we had to take it back to say, no, you may not have experience in politics. I did not have experience in politics when I stepped in, you know, but we need to just build women confidence like them. And maybe because men are hunters naturally, you are used to rejection. You know, you can take those beatings and still stand up, but women need to come over it. But I made an example to say some of the things that we are seeing now in this 21st century, you see a poster of a man president. Behind him is a woman who's running as a premier of Gauteng, and this is the man in front taking authority, taking up space. The woman is somewhere peeping behind, you know. It's wrong. The optics are so wrong. What are you saying to our children, to our young girls out there? And I see men, how they respect one another. Even on posters, a president will be here, the premier candidate will be here, side by side. Is a partnership, there's respect, and you can see what's happening. So even how women allow themselves to be positioned behind that man, you know, we are so conditioned to play a support role to a man, such that we can't even fight for our own space, you know, and be who you want to be and lead. Yeah. So for me, that has to be dealt with, psychology of women in taking up leadership positions. And
that's really where the challenge is, isn't it, Commissioner? Let me bring you in the discussion again. I mean, it all is about the psychology of how we see each other. I mean, you know, as we're speaking about this, I'm wondering whether we're being a bit difficult on our politicians, because frankly, what's taking place in politics is happening in our churches, it's happening in the home, it's happening culturally speaking. If we're going to get it right in politics, we're going to have to get it right in other aspects of our lives.
Well, you know, Bob Marley, in one of his songs, says we've got to liberate ourselves from mental slavery, because none but ourselves can liberate ourselves. And that's a reality. Women have to liberate themselves from mental slavery. And because we, at the moment where we are, we have all the tools of ensuring that there is equality. But unfortunately, we keep having the same discussions around women not being respected, like Colleen has correctly put it. And I think it's about time, and we've been saying this for so long, that we need to have gender education in our curriculum, because we need to educate children from an early age. Like you said, it's not only in politics, in all walks of life. Wherever there are males and females, males are always leading. It's not only in politics, like you said, it's even in church. And unfortunately, at the moment, the economy is controlled by men. The finances are controlled by men. That's why it becomes even difficult. I am sure we would have had a lot of women campaigning as independents, but it becomes very difficult for women to secure funding, not only in politics, but even for businesses. If women at the stage where we are unable to secure funding for their own businesses, when we have so many tools, when we have legislations and policies that encourages and allow women to be empowered to contest on par with their male counterparts, then it tells you that there is a serious problem within the society. We need to change the mindset of the society, and the only way we can do that is by educating the society, and in particular, start with the young generation and educate them. I know that I do not believe that you can teach an old dog new tricks, but at the moment, the adults, this thing is embedded in them. It's in their blood.
Oh, what a pity. Looks like our connection to the commissioner there has been lost, but it's a good moment, I suppose. to segue to you once again, Faith, because I suppose a big part of empowering women is allowing them to tell their own stories. I'm very interested to get down to the reason why you decided to run as an independent candidate in your community and whether or not that decision was informed by your experience as a woman in this country.
Thank you for that question. So the reason why I'm running these contestants is because this is a calling. It was revealed to me that I need to rise up and avail myself to serve the nations as a member of parliament and go there to be an answer to the prayers of the people of South Africa. So because I know that this is something that I was born to do, there's that fighting spirit in me. You know, I don't give up. I work hard because I know that this is what I was born to do. And when I interact with male leaders who are very much dominated, they see the passion and the fire inside of me. So you'll also remember when we look at origin, when we read the scriptures, we see that God created the man first. And that is why in many industries, the men are the one who are leading. When you get into that space, there's a man already that is leading. That is something that happened a long time ago because the man was created first. And the idea when God said, let there be a woman, he said a woman is going to be a helper. And a helper is someone who is stronger than you. You know, women are the better version of a man. Women, you know, it's saved the best for last. And men know that women are stronger than them. And that is why a lot of men want women close to them. So now because of democracy, we have the power to choose a woman over a man. And remember that a woman is a man. A woman is a wow man, a wonderful man, a womb man. So a woman is a man. That's why I don't look down on myself. I know I'm a man. Even when I read the scriptures, when it talks about a man will, I count myself in because I'm a man, you know, I'm a leader. And so I believe that as women, and I think the day that we're going to appoint a woman president, it shouldn't be because we're feeling sorry or, you know, it's about time. She must have been tested amongst the men that are there. She must stand out. She must have conquered them in every aspect, you know, including brains, wisdom, love, and beauty, you know, everything. She must just stand out when you're scoring them, not just because she's a woman or she's got a female container.
Sure. It's an interesting interpretation of scripture, which itself, Colleen, has been criticized for being or carrying aspects of patriarchy. To what extent do you reckon that if we are to make progress in this discussion, we need to move away from all the stereotypes both about women and about men, right? Because in many instances, this is what locks us in the binary, and for many people, validates their worldview, which in some instances would be to look down upon women over men because they are women.
Yeah. Look, for an example, the reason in this country we have a black president is because the majority of the people that are voting are black. And the minorities, of course, they don't have the numbers. And it should follow that we have a woman president in this country because the majority of the people are women. And not just only in terms of the majority number, but because as a woman, the issues that should be most pertinent and urgent to be fixed in this country should be issues that pertain to women as homeowners, as caregivers, just like a black president knows the plight of a black person. And he'll be able to sort out the poverty, the inequality, the informal settlement, the housing issues, the water issues in the villages, etc., because there's relatability. So in my campaign, I've been very shocked and sad to understand that the highest unemployment rate in this country, when you look at the 76%, the highest, over 50%, is women. And women are the most unemployed. Women are crying for women issues. One of the simplest things, they don't have sanitary pads, women that are unemployed, every month. A man has not been able to give them that because a man will not think that an unemployed woman, whether she's sitting at home, she must have pads. A man goes and puts condoms in every public toilet because a man would want to have sex whenever he wants to. Sex is a choice. A woman must go to a public toilet and find sanitary pads, whether she's working or not, because that is not a choice. 3 million women in this country are caregivers. They're not working. They have an opportunity to work, but they can't because they must look after an elderly or a disabled child or an incapacitated person. It falls upon women. These women, for the last 30 years, they are crying. They have not even been able to be afforded a grant. Anywhere in the country, countries will give grant to those women who have to stay at home and look after families. They rely on the grandmother's grants or the elderly grants. Those are issues that women can champion. The glass ceiling. Many corporate women, political women, they cry for the glass ceiling. We've been crying for years where you can't progress because something is low. I was fired because I wanted to be a party leader. Many women have been stopped. I give an example. Palatz is nowhere to be found. She wanted to lead DA. Mam Riali Dwaba, she's persona non grata. She wanted to lead Vice Chancellor of UNISA, Vice Chancellor of Cape Town, and many other cashiers, etc., that can't move out. Cashiers are not looked after. They don't have benefits. Those are women. And 40% of the people working in the service industry, waiters, is women. So I'm saying the women issues alone should be driving women to say, we want somebody who's going to represent us with understanding, with knowledge, with compassion in parliament and set policies that are going to benefit us. As somebody who experiences GBV, a man is not going to put a gun in your hand to combat GBV as a woman. It's only a woman who's going to say, you know what, you must defend yourself, cashier, waiter, security guard woman, when you walk home at night. Have a license to a gun so that when a man comes to rape you, to violate you, you can also defend yourself.
Right.
We've been fighting these issues that pertain to women and to the core of their household, looking after themselves, their safety, their protection, their children. No one is talking for them.
Sure. Yeah, it's the kind of discussion that we're never going to exhaust with the time that we had together. But I think the message has been quite clear. In a way, it feels like a clarion call from woman to woman, quite frankly, to start thinking differently about who they want to lead in all aspects of our lives. Let me thank you so much for coming through. Colleen Makhubele is the leader of the South African Rainbow Alliance, otherwise known as SARA. Joining us via our video link is Commissioner Gertrude Mothupi, who's with the Commission for Gender Equality, and Faith Phathela, an independent candidate also running in her community. To all three of you, thank you for once again popping by, and all the very best with just days to go before this very crucial election. So that's how we leave that discussion for now.